Hey Paula, how you doing? I've got your biodiversity up here, and I've got your whole presentation, and I just want to say you're really doing good stuff. It's your project has really come together in the last 2 weeks, like really to the next level. So, and this is certainly no exception. This is wonderful. I've got some comments going through here that are going to do two things. Number one, it's going to make more sense of the presentation, and I think it's going to make the presentation a little bit more um, manageable in terms of following the concept, as it were. So I'll just go through and now you've got next week for your final presentation, and that's where you really add everything, all of that research that you've been doing, and you want to show it. You want to show it. So not keep in mind when it comes time to show your final student portfolio, this is going to be a long program. This presentation is going to be pretty long. So you're going to have to pick and choose pieces that are going to stay and pieces that aren't going to stay. But for the purpose and the objectives of this assignment next week, you're going to include everything, including all your research citations, etc. Okay, so biodiversity, great job removing the other dots. I think this is great. My only issue here is it's a little bit the way that it's set, it's a little bit funny because I think it might be a little closer to this end than it is to the edge of the Y. It's closer to the edge of the B. I'm talking about the Go Compost. What my suggestion is this anyways, is I would take that Go Compost, that type right there, and I would move it down, just get it away from biodiversity just a little bit, maybe align it with the baseline or the center line of the Y. Just pull it down a little bit, and the next thing I would do is I would kern this closer, the space between Go and Compost, and then I would also kern Compost a little bit tighter and move it down. And I think that's going to allow this wonderful breathability between biodiversity and Go Compost. Because right now, the mind is looking at it and it's seeing this biodiversity Go Compost. So you're seeing it as one thing, where I think it would be a little bit more effective if the mind were to look at it and go biodiversity, Go Compost. Now it makes sense. Now it's saying, okay, the topic is biodiversity, and this little subhead is a call to action. All right, and I think that is really going to solidify the logo tremendously. Okay, purpose of this project. This is great. This is good. Your colors here, I would try to maintain colors that are a little bit more consistent with your logo. And I would have to see these next to each other, the logo next to the colors. But just, you can go into Illustrator and use Illustrator's color tools to ensure color harmony in your presentation. This logo right here is placed behind this graphic, and I think that's a mistake. I think you show your logo at full speed, full strength all the time, never compromising its a visual posture by placing anything too close to it or above it. Really good writing. This makes great sense. It's a wonderful introduction to the project. I'm going to pull out a ruler here, and I just want to draw something real quick. I'm just going to go to the X height of that, and we can see that we're out of alignment. All you would have to do to really pull this page together, and let's just go ahead and pull a guide right here, and you can see you're in alignment here, but not here. So let's just go ahead and pull that whole thing down so composting aligns with that X height of that type. Okay, moving on to the next page, I see that if you can see, watch this change, watch this jump. That is acting as your headline or your page introduction headline. So that can't move. Watch. See how it's set there on that page? When we turn the page, it jumps up there again. See how it jumps around? You don't want that. You want that to sit docked on every single page. And then the same thing with your type, is that whatever type you're going to use, you want it to stay docked at the same spot on every single page. You may consider this. If you are using sketches, you may consider moving this up a little, moving this up a little, starting your type here so that on the next page you will have room for your two paragraphs or your two columns of type describing your ideas behind your digital sketches and your rough sketches. Now, the rough sketches in a process book like this, sketches are great. Portfolio reviewers and hiring professionals love to see sketches. So I would say I would go ahead and give a whole page, because if you want to increase the size of these, I'd give a whole page dedicated to the manual sketches, and then go ahead and then just give your digital sketches as they came in. Try to give a little bit more than that. Also, descriptions. I know we're a visual medium, but we do need to describe verbally. We need to describe everything. Okay, like for example, just looking at this, no one's going to know what that is. No one's going to know what that is either. So, the more clear, the less questions somebody comes away from your presentation, the better, always. This is good too, but again, watch that grid. And when I say grid, I'm talking about here. You see this page right here? You've got a perfect opportunity to duplicate that page and place these two right in those columns. See what I'm saying? Instead of on top of each other. Watch that type doesn't jump around. Good job explaining. Good job. Materials. Where are the materials? We need materials. Don't forget, and you have to have your materials list next week. Otherwise, this whole thing is for naught. Well, in this particular, what I'm seeing is that you've got at least one column that is not as wide as the rest of your type columns. This column is visually much more narrow than these columns. I'm not real sure for the reason for that, but if you're going to set 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-column grid, make sure it's an equal 5 columns. Okay. The writing and everything else is wonderful. This alignment is really, really set weird, because you've got this centered, but everything else is left aligned. That's why your left margin is so big and your right margin is so small. Remember, those margins should be as close to equal as possible. Fix there is the equal, adjusting your the column widths, and then when you do set this, you're going to set that so that biodiversity of soil is aligned, left aligned. I would left align that, pull that over in. Okay, and why is biodiversity of soil? If that's a title, make it a title. Right now, it looks like these are column heads. Okay, this looks like an inconsistent column head. If it's a title, make it so. Don't make it look like it's a mistake. See what I'm saying? Okay, now this right here, I think this is underdeveloped. It really is. It looks like, could we do maybe something like, I know I suggested this, and I'm wondering if we could do something where we just keep the bottom of that just like this, like you have here, instead of using all that. Just keep that with the logo down there. Okay, you don't have to put biocomposition. Just your logo. That's it. You want to put that biocompost somewhere else, .com, go ahead. Keep it away from your logo. Remember, we never want to compromise the integrity of our logo by placing things too close to it. So, and then what I would do is I would put the logo down there with that graphic that you have, and I would do, can you do it like start composting today, left aligned? The center alignment is really a drag. It is, it always is. So just keep that in mind moving forward. But I was wondering if we could do a start composting today, and then do how to compost, just 2 paragraphs or so, and don't forget, you've got a 5-column grid here, so you'll have to adjust your typography accordingly. But what I would do is I would say, I just noticed this is a lot thinner than this. Avoid boxes, a lot thinner. That should be equal. This box right here spans the 2 columns. This one starts, it should start here under that column and span the whole 2 columns. Then, okay, I just noticed that. I don't know if you keep that or not, but my suggestion is to do a start composting today, then do like a deck, a couple of paragraphs of what is composting? How do you do it? What is it? A lot of people don't even know what it is. We've all heard of it, but I'm going to be really honest with you. A lot of people don't understand exactly what composting is and how you do it. Finally, And then I was wondering if maybe we could do a do and a don't side of this thing instead of take this concept and move it a little bit further into a complete yes and no side of the card. But anyways, this is really stark through here. So this piece looks really unfinished. Okay, sorry about that. I was saying, yes, this piece, it really, I think it needs some help. I mean, it's the bones are there. The bones are solid, and the backside is really done well. So I'm just wondering if we should. Also, you know what? I'm seeing something here. I'm seeing that you should start all of your type at the same. I'm gonna pull a guide out here and put it right there. Okay, and that's where all your types should start. Leaving this area for your biodiversity of soil headline, and then your logo. But all of this, if we pull this down, leave some nice white space up there, it's going to really make a big difference. Okay, good job, good job. Watch your photograph. You're getting cut off here. This is your weak link right here. This is the weak link of your whole project because it's not explanatory, self-explanatory at all. There's no materials list. There's no descriptions like you have on the other pages. You've described everything. This is just a picture of it. Looks like a wallet. We don't know what it is. So this really, really needs attention. As I said, I believe this is the weak link of the whole project. Looking good again. Now, I just want to show you. Okay, there's that. Now, a couple of things that you're missing is that you got to get your credits in here. I want to move to next week really quick because I just want to show you what we're up against next week so that you can start thinking that way now. Okay, so when you look into week 6, assignment 1, that's where everything comes together. So I want you to read through this because all of this stuff has to be included in our presentation for next week. A lot of what I've described this week is pointing in that direction. And I'm going on 12 minutes here, so I got to cut this short. I'm so sorry. I stopped paying attention. Anyways, so don't forget your labels, your materials lists, and your credits. Those are the most important things, okay? All right, again, sorry I took so long, but anyways, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me and I can clarify anything that might need so. All right, good job. Thanks very much.